Gauss's law or Gauss's theorem in electrostatics. We have already studied, or we have an idea about the electric flux. Electric flux is the, just try to remember or recall it. What is electric flux? Electric flux is the number of electric field lines passing through an area perpendicular is called the electric flux through that surface. Gauss's law or Gauss's theorem states that the total electric flux through any closed surface will be equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times the charge enclosed by the surface, and the surface or the charge is in free space. If it is in another medium, then another medium of permittivity is epsilon. If the permittivity of the space is epsilon, then it will be 1 by epsilon times the charge enclosed. Total electric flux through any surface in free space is equal to the 1 by epsilon 0 times the charge enclosed by the surface. That means if the electric field is C at any point, and we take ds as the surface element, then E dot ds is the flux through this surface. Then total flux will be equal to integration of this, and since the surface is closed, we give this symbol. This is the closed surface of symbol of closed surface over S, which is the total flux through the closed surface S in free space will be equal to Q enclosed, Q ENC divided by epsilon 0. Q enclosed is the total charge enclosed in the closed surface S. We are just trying to prove it for a point charge. Let us see. Here is a point charge Q, and let us say this is plus Q. We take a point here, P is point at any point. At this point, the electric field due to this charge will be along this direction, and also the electric field is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. If this distance is r and the surrounding space is free space, then epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space. Now we take a spherical surface, spherical closed surface. We take a sphere of radius r, centered at O, centered at the point of the charge. Let us say this is a closed surface. We consider first we consider a small elementary surface here, ds, then direction of ds is along this, and E is also along I, which is also along the ds. Therefore, E dot ds is the flux through this elementary surface. Flux through this elementary surface ds. ds is the elementary area on this sphere, which is called the Gaussian surface. Sphere is closed surface. Now, the flux through this elementary area ds is equal to d phi equals to E dot ds, which can be written as E ds, because E and ds are in the same direction. Since we have considered the Gaussian surface as spherical surface. Now, E is equal to magnitude of E is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught r square. Therefore, d phi is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into ds. Now, since the radius of the sphere is r is fixed, then at each and every point on the sphere, on the surface of the sphere, E will be same and ds will also be along the E. Therefore, if we consider ds at different point, then d phi will be this same. Now, what will be the total flux? Now, total flux through this closed surface, which is spherical surface, is phi equals to what? Integration d phi, right? Integration over what? Integration over the closed surface S, and which is equals to closed surface S q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into ds. Is it clear? Or you may write q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square closed integration ds over the surface S. Since epsilon constant, r constant, q is constant, all are constants, we bring it outside the integration. Or you can write 4 pi epsilon naught r square into integration of ds is what? It will be the total surface area of the sphere. Total surface area of the sphere, which is equals to 4 pi r square. This is the surface area of a sphere, which is equal to q by epsilon naught. Phi is equal to q by epsilon. Q is the total charge inside the sphere. Is it clear? Which is the Gauss's law. If q enclosed is 0, that means if the closed surface does not contain any charge, then the flux through a closed surface will be equal to 0 by epsilon 0, which is 0. That means in that case, the total flux through the closed surface will be 0. Now, if the closed surface contains equal and opposite charges, if the closed surface contains two equal and opposite charges, that means if there is a plus q charge and also there is a minus q charge, then the total flux through the surface will be equal to q enclosed, which is 0, plus q minus q means 0. That will be also 0. In that case, the number of field lines entering the surface due to minus charge will be equal to number of field lines exiting from the surface, exiting through the surface due to plus q charge will be same. That means number of field lines crossing the closed surface is 0. If we consider this is a closed surface and there is no charge inside the surface, but there is charges outside the surface. There is charge outside the surface. Let us see. Here is a plus q charge. Then in this case also total flux will be 0. In this case also total flux will be 0. Since q enclosed, that means total charge inside the surface is 0, therefore flux will be 0. But what will happen in this case? In this case, the number of electric field lines will be like this. Due to a point charge, these will be the field lines. Now see what happens. In this region, number of field lines are entering the closed surface, and in this region field lines are leaving the surface. Means in this region there will be outward flux, in this region there will be inward flux. And see here, number of field lines entering the surface will be equal to or is equal to number of field lines exiting the surface. So the total number of field lines passing through the surface is 0. Net is 0. That means the outward flux is equal to the inward flux. Therefore, total flux is 0. Now, what is the actually importance or significance of this Gauss's law? The great significance of Gauss's law is that it is true in general, and not only for the simple cases. It is true for every cases, whatever may be the charge distribution. It may be simple charge distribution or complex charge distribution. Some important points about this law is Gauss's law is valid for any closed surface, no matter what its shape and size. This Gauss's law is applicable or valid for any shape and size of the closed surface. If we want to find out the electric field intensity due to a charge distribution, I can choose the closed surface at my convenience. The term Q on the right side of the Gauss's law, the term Q enclosed, which is Q in the right side of the Gauss's theorem, is the sum of all charges inside the closed surface. Sum of all charges inside the closed surface. The charge may be located anywhere inside the surface. The charge may be located anywhere inside the surface. Second thing is what? The charge Q enclosed on the right side of the Gauss's theorem is the total charge. Total charge means total positive plus negative charge inside the surface. Inside the closed surface, the charge may be located anywhere inside the surface. Now the third thing, the electric flux. The electric flux, that means this phi, will be due to all the charges, both inside and outside. The charges may reside in the outside, maybe in the inside, but flux will be equal to or flux will be due to the all charges, inside charges, outside charges. But on the right side, the Q is only the charge inside the surface. By choosing a suitable Gaussian surface, we can easily calculate the electric field intensity when the system has some symmetry. When the system has some symmetry, we can choose any closed surface according to our convenience to find out the electric field due to the charge distribution. And Gauss's law is based on the inverse square law dependence on distance content in the Coulomb's law. Any violation of Gauss's law will indicate departure from the Coulomb's law or inverse square law. If there is a violation, if we get any violation from the Gauss's law, then it will indicate that the law or the force is not inverse square law or does not follow the inverse square law, which is the we can say is the departure from the inverse square law.